Xbox marketing head apparently told an audience nobody cares about Banjo-Kazooie. So I seen this article, I read the headline and everything, and honestly, this pissed me off, if I'm gonna keep it real. This was something I didn't like hearing, and the fact that we'll get into detail about what actually happened was one thing, but we had some news break that the actual same marketing manager or whatnot came out with a statement in regards to what he had said. So we'll go over this. I wanted to read this little bit of this little paragraph right here that they have, and then I wanted to get into actually some of the comments that some people had posted through this website, and then we'll go ahead and after that check out the what the marketing manager had said. The asshole, in my opinion. So Aaron Greenberg, Xbox Games Marketing at Microsoft, recently attended a Microsoft Flight Simulator event, and during the time there, a PR person asked fans who had attended which games they wanted to see again, to which one of the attendees shouted Banjo-Kazooie. Greenberg heard the reply and apparently told the audience at the event that nobody cares about Banjo-Kazooie. A bizarre statement to make, especially considering the critical and sales success Sony has recently had with its Astro Bot platformer, which is so true. So we'll go ahead and get into some of the comments that people had written here, and then, like I said, we'll check out the statement that he had made in regards to trying to fix what he had said. Not trying to troll or anything, but that is most likely true. That IP is old, and the latest games didn't go well with people the most, and those games are old as well. They probably measured interest in Banjo-Kazooie with Smash, Rare's Collection, and Switch Online subscriptions. Personally, I love Banjo-Kazooie. I would love to see more of it. So I agree with that last part right here, but I don't I don't agree with this first part. And then I like what this next person had commented said. So the latest games didn't go well with the people the most. You mean the nuts and bolts? Gee, I wonder why it didn't go well. Because nuts and bolts was trash. All right. They made Banjo fat. They made it a car game instead of a platformer. And yeah, what did you expect? No one was gonna want to play that game if it wasn't the regular formula of Banjo Kazooie. So of course, yeah, people are gonna not like it and they're gonna think it was stupid that you guys went that direction. And that was the big issue I personally have with Microsoft is the fact that they bought Rare and they haven't done shit with the properties that they've been giving. And they had some like really great games that they were able to add to their library, but they haven't done anything with it because Microsoft is trash. It's not a gaming company. It's a computer company that decided to get into gaming. And it shows. It really shows when you look at what they've done with the IPs that they've been giving when they purchased Rare, and it's fucking upsetting. As a gaming fan and someone that loves a lot of the Rare games, yeah, it's sad what they did because they bought all of that and they haven't done shit with it. You guys were better off just leaving it as it was. So we'll go ahead and continue on. And then I agree with you actually. Ukulele is another example of a game that didn't sell well, and it was being carried by the legacy of Banjo Kazooie, which personally, I had no interest in playing ukulele. It was one of those things. I remember people were saying like, "Oh, it's like a spiritual successor to Banjo Kazooie," and I was like, "That's cool," but at the end of the day, it's not Banjo Kazooie. So personally, I didn't have any interest in purchasing that game or even playing it for that matter. And so what else they said? So honestly, I don't think a lot of new players today would even enjoy the old games if they had played it, which I don't agree with. Plus, they have an Astrobot now to make modern 3D platformers if they want, which kind of negates that first comment where it's like, oh, players wouldn't like it if they played it now. It's like, well, no, because Astrobot was a success and it has done well. I haven't played it myself, but from what I've heard, it's a platformer. So it is one of those things. If something like that is able to be successful, more than likely, if they were to actually make a decent Banjo Kazooie game that's in line with the formula of what the games have been, yes, I very much believe that Banjo Kazooie could be a success in that regard. And then we'll see what else we got here. So I just woke up. Sony is Astrobot, so maybe Xbox could use Banjo-Kazooie as their go-to 3D platformer. But I agree with the other comments that they probably don't have the talent to make a modern version that players will like, and they don't. That's the sad thing. That's the sad thing with just a lot of the gaming industry in general, is that it feels like they've taken away a lot of the creativity and a lot of the individuals that would be able to innovate good things that could be like that could go on with a sequel to the games. Because for anyone that doesn't know, there was Banjo Kazooie, and once Banjo Kazooie you beat the game, they announced in that game that they're going to be coming out with a sequel called Banjo Tooie. And when you beat Banjo Tooie, it is announced in that one that they were planning on doing a third game, which was going to be Banjo 3, 3E, how they pronounced it. So when instead of getting that, they ended up giving us Nuts and Bolts, which is so fucking stupid in my opinion. Such a shitty game, such a dumbass direction that Microsoft decided to go in with it, and it pisses me off to no end. Like I can't even talk right now because I'm so fucking mad about this. So then we'll continue on with the next one. So then here's the solution. Give Banjo-Kazooie back to Nintendo. Yes, which is something I totally agree with. Fuck Microsoft. They don't need that fucking franchise with them anymore because they've already shown us for the past, what, decade, maybe longer, that they don't know what the fuck they're doing with that game. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have the proper talent to actually make a good game and to make a good platformer in the vein of what Banjo-Kazooie is meant to be. And then let's continue on. I mean, if Nintendo can make them look as so freaking good in Smash, they obviously have the skills to really make an actual revival for the Banjo-Kazooie franchise. Banjo is still a good series. People do care about it. Microsoft just did a crappy job with taking care of the Banjo series, which is so true. Nuts and Bolts was garbage. There is no doubt in that. But I'm telling you, if Nintendo had the rights to Banjo, this series would be truly awesome once more. And it's true. Because at least Nintendo would still be willing to give it that love and care that it deserves, that it should have. Because I like I said, I like Banjo-Kazooie a lot, and I think it is a great franchise, and it has potential to even go further than what the first two games were able to do. And not only that, but it's great as far as a mascot. You know what I mean? The bear and the bird would work so well. And then let's continue on. So what if they return it to Rare? Whoa. I mean, at that point. Wow, and you see the stupidity having woken up? Yeah. Yuka had atrocious level design, massive zones with next to nothing in them, collectibles scattered around seemingly aimlessly. And you know, that again, that just pretty much makes me happy I never actually played Yooka-Laylee. If that was pretty much what Microsoft was giving us. And we'll see the next one. Laugh my ass off. Nobody cares. It's not the truth. Clearly, people do care, and the series keeps getting mentioned. Even if you yourself said you love it, if he said not enough people care, then he might have a case. Microsoft would just slap a new Banjo to the Game Pass, which would impact its sales. Now, if they release it to Nintendo's device, that would be a different story, which is, again, very true, especially considering that, like, the game started with Nintendo. So, yeah, it pisses me off so much. And then nobody cares is not to be taken extremely literally. It's hyperbolic. But yeah, a lot of people care, obviously, but not most likely not enough for Microsoft to be on. And then I agree, Banjo-Kazooie is just really dumb and everyone knows it, which is not true. Look at their pictures for one. If you show that to most people, they would be like, what the heck is that? Some crappy version of Looney Tunes. And the game, no one ever plays it, which is, again, a fucking lie, not true. And then further proof that Xbox doesn't care about its IPs or players. It cares about a quick investment return, which is extremely true. The truth is Microsoft has never figured out how to leverage Rare in their IPs. The latest game came out almost 20 years ago and it was a spin-off title. Aside from cameos, Banjo-Kazooie hasn't been playable in their own game in about 2 console generations, which is so true. And that's another thing that just pisses me off is how long they've been taking to actually try to do something. Because it was one of those things when Smash released that they were going to be having Banjo-Kazooie on the roster. Personally, I've always been a Link guy. Whenever I play Smash Brothers, I'm always playing as Link. That is my go-to character, and I usually don't pick anyone else. If I do, Young Link would probably be the other version. But when I found out that they were gonna have Banjo-Kazooie as a playable character, I was hyped. I was so hyped. I was so excited, and I kept telling myself, yeah. Well, I mean, I love Link, and you know, obviously he's still gonna be my go-to character. But if I did decide to go with someone else, Banjo-Kazooie would definitely be it. And so those are just some of the comments. There are some more. I'm not going to go into the rest of them, but one of the things that had happened, that some news that broke, was that the marketing manager, I believe it was, the marketing head had come out with a statement in regards. So Xbox VP addresses a controversial Banjo-Kazooie comment. So this first part, it just talks about, you know, the game, how it came about, but it's right here in this paragraph. So we'll go ahead and check it out. So Xbox has control over the Banjo-Kazooie IP, yet a third game still hasn't been made. At a recent event for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Greenberg reportedly said nobody cares about Banjo-Kazooie in a response to a fan who shouted it out when the audience was asked game franchises they would like to see make a comeback. Greenberg has since taken to Twitter to clarify his comment as sarcastic, which I personally don't believe. I think that's fucking a lie. I think he's only saying that to do damage control because he probably realized that, oh shit, I probably made this comment on this franchise, this IP that we have, and it pissed a lot of the friends off, and it made us look bad as a company. So his comments were, I absolutely know how much Banjo-Kazooie means to our fans and gamers everywhere, which I personally feel is bullshit. Greenberg said, it holds a special place in my heart growing up playing these classic games. Go fuck yourself. That's what I gotta say, because I feel like, again, this is just them trying to damage control what they had done. They probably got a good amount of kickback from it, and they probably had to be told by the upper heads, yo, like, you gotta come out and make a statement because you pissed a lot of people off, and it makes our company look bad that you would even make a comment like that with one of our IPs. So the fact that this was said is so stupid on that person's, on Greenberg's part, but at the same time, this just shows who they are. This just shows the individuals that are in charge of the IPs that we know and love. And the fact that they bought Rare pisses me off to no end, because it was one of those things that Nintendo, they were invested with Rare when it was purchased. They had stocks in Rare, and they were planning, something I didn't know was that they were planning on making the third Banjo-Kazooie game for the GameCube. I would have loved to been able to play a Banjo-Kazooie game on the GameCube had they come out with it. But no, Microsoft had to be a piece of shit company that they fucking were, buy the fucking company itself, and then not do shit with it. And the things that they did do was trash. So seeing this just pisses me off to no end. And it just, I don't know, man. It makes me so fucking mad that these dumbass people have the IPs to these properties when they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm super pissed off. I feel like I can't even talk just doing this video, but yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know how I feel about this, how much this upsets me. And I mean, yeah, there's a big possibility I'm in the minority of this. There's probably not a lot of people that really like Banjo-Kazooie that much, but for me, this isn't just about Banjo-Kazooie. This is about these fucking stupid ass companies, these corporations that have the ownership of these properties, and they don't even care about them. They don't care about the properties, and they don't care about us, the fans, that actually care about this stuff. So yeah, this just pisses me off to no end. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Is there any, Banjo-Kazooie fans out there? Is this something that's, upsetting to hear for you? If not, let me know. If I'm over exaggerating, again, let me know. And yeah, if you guys can leave your thoughts in the comments, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it, especially because, I went on a giant rant about this. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. And Harmonic out. Peace.